From books that are completely edible to water bottles that are completely biodegradable. From looking at the way in which we measure time and the design of clocks to something that we can learn from professional athletes. Welcome along. We are back again with a few more things that are happening and have happened across the world that might be going a little under the radar. Starting with time. Have you ever seen an analog clock and wondered why has it been divided into 12 portions? Well, there are ancient civilizations which have created systems and that evolution has led to the way in which we measure time today. Going back to ancient Mesopotamia, they say that the number system of having 12 and 60, that is 60 minutes in an hour and 60 seconds in a minute, actually came from the design of human hands. For those of us who counted things on our fingers, this might sound a little familiar. Leaving the thumb aside, each finger has three joints. So we see the three lines or the three sections. So four fingers, 3 into 4, that is 12, and that is one cycle. And each cycle is counted on the other hand, which has 5 fingers. So now we are talking about 12 times 5, which is 60. So that is one of the reasons they say, which is behind the number system of having 60 minutes, 60 seconds, and 12 hours. The same system was used in concepts of navigation, astronomy, and many other calculations. There were other civilizations which had their own systems. For example, it was the ancient Egyptians who divided the night into 12 hours based on stars and constellations. The ancient Greeks were the ones who divided the day into 24 hours. And there are many other civilizations. So the next time when you look at your watch, look at the time, remember it's an evolution of all of these ancient systems, and that is how we compute time today. If we look at those analog clocks, the initial designs did not measure seconds and minutes. It was a direct mechanical version of the sundial. So people back then, with the older versions of the mechanical clocks, saw time only in hours. Speaking about time, there also is the aspect of keeping track of time, being on time for certain things, events, calls, meetings, or life in general. So before clocks, before alarm clocks, human beings used to wake up to the cues from nature. Whether it's the birds, the animals, the roosters, the sunlight, all of those different things used to wake us up. But then there came a time, particularly during the Industrial Revolution, where people had to be in the factories on time. So there were others. There was a profession which involved people knocking on doors, waking others so that they then reach work on time. It's very hard to imagine a professional human being functioning as an alarm clock, coming and waking you up every single day so that you get up on time, no snooze button here, and then you reach work on time. Things have changed so much and things have become so very convenient. All right, so at the start of the fourth month of every single year, the 1st of April, we have the April Fool's Day. It's a fun occasion, and there are many different things that are done across the globe. And it's not just April Fools, but there are also many other events that happen on the same day. And we are looking at two of them right now. The 1st of April is also called the Fossil Fuels Day. It's aimed at reminding people at the usage of fossil fuels and the impact it has on the environment. Now, there are many of us across the globe who require fossil fuels and the energy that it generates to function day to day, but it also has an adverse impact on the environment, particularly when it comes to pollution. So, it's a gentle reminder, a gentle nudge for all of us to think about alternatives, even at an individual level, or to reduce consumption of fossil fuels so that we have a cleaner environment. The other occasion that happens on the 1st of April is also a fun event, and it's called the World Edible Book Day. This is a day on which artisans, particularly food artisans and bakers, create books that are completely edible. A lot of work goes into this. All of those cakes and edibles are made to look like books. These are then put on display. People get to see it first. There is a competitive element, so there are judges who decide on which is the best book. There also is public voting, and then comes the fun part, which is eating. So all of those books are then finally consumed. Think about the people who create this. It's literally eating your own words. It truly is an event that celebrates food. And there are many events which are hard to imagine without food. Where there is food, there is also water. And if we are talking about events, we generally see water bottles, very often made of plastic. Plastic bottles are very convenient, easy to use, easy to carry, but they also have an adverse impact on the environment. But we now see a solution to the environmental problem. There are many startups in Kerala which are creating water bottles that are made of bioplastic. It's not just the bottle, it's also the cap and the labeling, and all of these completely decompose in 180 days. The bioplastics are made from sugarcane and cornstarch, and this can be a massive game changer. So it provides the convenience that water bottles provide, but at the same time, it eliminates the pollution that comes from plastic bottles. Imagine bioplastics being used across the globe, either at home or at massive events like sporting events, which generate a lot of plastic. Sometimes the cups which are used for carrying drinks to the stands, athletes who sometimes use bottles to keep themselves hydrated during the game. Now, speaking of athletes, there are several things that we can learn from the men and women who compete at the highest level. There is discipline, the tenacity, the dedication, and also the mindset of overcoming challenges, overcoming losses, and coming back to the next game. But there also is a wonderful thing that we see among athletes, that is respecting their rivals. Even in sports like boxing or mixed martial arts, where both of them are literally hitting each other, they still come and shake hands or touch gloves at the start and sometimes at the end of the match. Right now, we are talking about two-time Olympian PV Sindhu, who penned a wonderful note to Carolina Marin, a rival of hers who recently announced her retirement. Imagine this is a rival for whom she was preparing for a lot of matches where she faced a rival who gave her tough challenges on the court, who pushed her to the edge, somebody to whom she lost a good number of matches, but there still is that level of respect and a little bit of admiration for somebody who competes at the highest level. For me, sometimes it is difficult to even adjust to somebody who has an argument with me or who is on the opposite side. It is something to learn from athletes who hit each other, who compete against each other, but still, after that competition, they come and shake hands. And that is something which is truly amazing. Athletes, of course, do amazing things. It's well documented and it broadcasts across the globe and it is widely celebrated. Then there are so many other people who work in different fields who also do amazing things, and sometimes their actions might go a little under the radar. So, with this one, we are going all the way to Tennessee. Michael Van McGuire is a student at a community college. In 2024, he was in a motorcycle accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. Michael loved being outdoors and being on his bike. So, a team of students from the Tennessee Tech University worked with Michael, designed a wheelchair that adapts to motorized mountain bikes. A lot of innovation, of course, multiple trials, and they came up with the design that is helping Michael go around. It's truly amazing. The photos which are available online look amazing, and there's a very happy Michael sitting on the bike who also said that these students gave him back his legs. There are so many amazing people who do incredible things across the globe, and we always like to talk about them. All right, so we were talking about food, events, celebrating food, sporting events, athletes. And one thing that we often do when we find ourselves in these occasions is to click a lot of photos and to take a lot of videos. And the other thing that we do is upload all of them into the cloud service for the storage. And then come the constant notifications that tell us that there isn't enough space or we have to make a payment, pay a little extra and get more space. So as soon as I come from a travel, it takes time to sort through the photos and I end up uploading all of them to the cloud. But whenever there is some time, I like to go back to some of those photos, maybe from a few weeks ago, a few months ago, or sometimes those highlights which take us back a few years. So, looking back at some of the older photos, I now see some of them which do not resonate the same, or there are 10 photos of the same plant or the same dog which I do not need, so I start deleting them slowly. It takes time, of course. It's the same with emails and many other things. After some time, you might see that you have multiple photos of the exact same thing. You might see photos and videos which do not resonate the same way they did immediately. So, saving and preserving the ones that matter more and deleting some of the extra ones can clear up some space. It, of course, is taking me a lot of time. It's a work in progress. It has given me some free space. I still have to reach the point where the notifications stop. If you have other ways of clearing up space on your drive, or if you like to say something about all the other things that we were talking about, do let us know. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back with more such things which go a little under the radar. Thank you.